morning. My name is Kaylee Zeidler and this is Sabrina Moran. We are both certified mediators and have been trained to hear disputes such as the one before us today. Our purpose here today is to act as mediators in this case and to assist you in the resolution of the dispute that brings us to the table. Let me begin by stating that I am not here to represent either side, any particular position at all. I will not express partiality or take sides during this process. My goal is to assist each of you in reaching an acceptable settlement of this matter. I have no power to impose a decision on you or to decide how this matter should be settled. In a mediation session, I ask of you to verify that you willingly accept the opportunity to participate so that you are both comfortable with each other's good intentions. I will have you sign agreements to participate in this process, so if you could sign these forms, please. Thank you. Confidentiality is a critical part of the process. So generally, if you tell me something in private, I am to keep it confidential. I'm bound by law not to disclose this information voluntarily. Having said that, I want you to please remember the facts that were discoverable before the mediation session do not become confidential merely because they are presented during a mediation conference. It is only those things that you say or write in confidence to me during the mediation that I will not disclose.
Okay, so before we begin, let me explain the procedure we will use. When I complete these statements, each of you will have the opportunity to make an uninterrupted opening statement to describe the problem as you see it. First, I will ask Ms. Malkovich to explain her side of the story, and then I will ask Mr. Hansen to explain his part. Please keep in mind that we need to be respectful to one another, not to interrupt each other when we speak. After that, we will transition into a joint discussion centering on possible solutions, and I ask that each of you be thinking of how you might like to resolve this matter. If we reach an agreement today, it will be written and each of you will be asked to verify and sign it. I will also sign it as a witness. Each of you will be provided with a copy of this agreement today. At this time, please turn off all cell phones, pagers, and electronic devices. Let me once again congratulate you for being here today to try to work this out. Your presence here today demonstrates your willingness to attempt and cooperative problem solving. Are there any questions? No. Okay, if not, then let's proceed. So, Ms. Malkovich, would you like to explain your point of view?
Hi. So basically, I'm so tired of having to always explain myself and having to explain the rules. Mr. Hansen here, he just doesn't follow them. I don't understand what privileges he has or what he thinks this is, but it's just not fair to me that he can do things that the rest of us can't in the association. And it's been bothering me, and I've brought it up, and he still does these things. Like, it doesn't make sense. I'm constantly pontificating like the rules out to him and the association board, which they seem like they don't care because they just let him do whatever he wants. But mainly, your daughter is still using the pool. Your daughter does not live here. Why is she using the pool? It doesn't make sense. And then you have this boy. I don't know, but like I know he's not your son. I mean, I don't get why he's always in the pool either. He's just always in the pool, swimming freely, and I know his fees I haven't paid. I've never seen him before, and then all of a sudden he's in the pool and he thinks he can just swim in there all the time? No, like, it doesn't make sense. I don't understand why you have these people using the amenities without paying for them, especially your daughter who is no longer in your care. I mean, she doesn't live with you, so why is she using the pool freely? And this boy, I mean, who is he? Why is he in the pool? Those are my main issues.
And is this a community place, or is this?
Well, yeah, this is a community pool in our association, our homeowners association. Okay. So we all share the pool.
Mm-hmm. Is it a large community? How would you describe the area?
Yeah, I would say it's pretty large. It's about 270 families that live there, and we all live there. We're just taking use of the pool and the amenities that we pay for monthly.
So what are some of the payments that you make in order to live in the community that you are?
Monthly, we pay fees such as a homeowner association fee, but we also pay fees for a pool and or the gym or any other amenities that the community has, but we pay them monthly.
Okay. And so, from what I understand, your problem with Mr. Hansen is that he is not following the rules that you're supposed to follow within the community?
No, I mean, I've paid my dues. I don't allow, other members don't allow people just to swim in the pool unaccompanied. And he does it. Like, I don't quite understand why that is.
So you feel like you're not being treated fairly or equally?
Exactly.
Okay.
I never have been. He always gets treated better than me, or the other members also. It just doesn't add up.
And so you've been living at this community for a long time now?
I have.
Okay.
I have.
Have you had the chance to talk to any upper management, or what is your relationship with them?
I've expressed my concerns with them, and they, especially with Mr. Hansen, but I feel like they're not considering what I'm saying. I don't know if he has some special privileges because he trained the administrative manager right now of the board. I don't know, but just because he trained her right now does not mean that he should get these privileges. I mean, that's not fair. I mean, I don't care what you did with her, what you do with her currently. Maybe something else is going on. I don't know, but he gets these privileges, and
Yeah,
I've
what the hell?
spoken.
I think that's kind of messed up. She's trying to.
Okay. I understand, but let's please refrain from,
What the hell
we'll
was
let,
that for? I don't
we'll let
understand.
each other
I
speak.
have a
one
wife.
at a
think
time.
I have a wife.
You do have
You
a
think
wife.
I
Okay,
would-
let's not
You spent a
interrupt.
lot of
Let's not
time.
interrupt. You'll have your turn after for what you'd like to say,
That's
so.
interesting.
I would just like to address that these comments shouldn't be.
You will. You will be able to address these afterwards, but, yeah, we'll refrain from making judgments about him as well, so.
Well,
um,
it is factual that he did train the administrative manager, and that she gives him these special privileges.
Okay. So, have you contacted Mr. Hansen at all? Has there been any communication, or have you had any contact with the young boy? How is that relationship?
I did contact Mr. Hansen. I wrote him a letter explaining that he was breaking the rules and that he needed to pay up and follow the guidelines and do what he needed to do because all of us as equal members of this community do them. So he should too. And I expressed my feelings toward that in the letter. I have not spoken to the boy yet, or I don't plan on speaking to him.
Okay.
And is the Croatian student, is he like bothering you in any way, or are you uncomfortable with him, or is it just you just don't want him there?
I mean, I don't trust him. I mean, how could you, like, I just feel he's not trustworthy. I don't know what he does. He sits in the pool. He hasn't been cleared by the association board because he has not paid the fees, or Mr. Hansen and his family hasn't paid the fees for him. So I don't feel safe. I have no idea who he is. He hasn't been justified or claimed for. I don't know. I don't feel safe, nor do I trust him.
So it's a safety issue for you?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
So, Mr. Hansen, can you give us your partake on the situation?
Well, yeah. The situation is, so this Croatian boy, he has a name, by the way. His name's Alan Petrovic, right? And he comes from Croatia, and we basically, are allowing him to stay for 2 years in our household, so he can go to the local community college there. And once he, once he's done, then he's allowed to leave, or he could probably stay another couple of years for, for university. Now the thing is, we have been accompanying him, to the pool.
But yet I've never seen him there.
I think it's my turn to speak.
Yeah, but it's
I
okay.
have.
Let's take turns on speaking.
He thought it was going to interrupt me, so.
Continue.
So we have accompanied him a few times to the pool,
Mhm.
and it's already been a month since, you know, he's been here, and we've allowed him to just stay around. And, well, I don't know why she's trying to pinpoint this issue. I mean, the thing is, membership isn't, you don't basically pay membership individually, it goes by household. And so Alan, he's gonna be part of our family for 2 years, and that's, and, you know, it's not like he's a guest. He's not gonna be there for like a week or 2 weeks, so I feel like, you know, I feel like he's going to be part of the family, he's gonna be, you know, following the rules under my roof, and the rules don't specifically state that a member of like the household needs to be related, so there's nothing specific about that. And I consider him like a part of the family because he's part of the household, he's gonna be there for an extended amount of time. So I feel like the rules, you know, they don't explicitly say that, you know, someone who isn't related to you shouldn't be considered a member. No, I've been paying every month my membership for the household. That's never changed, I've never failed to pay, and for that I don't feel like there's an issue there. Now the other issue is Miss Milankovich has been very rude, and she's basically putting her nose where it doesn't really, you know, it's none of her business. I think this is between me and the homeowners association. If they have a problem, then they should contact me, not some other neighbor who is apparently pissed off because, whatever, she's scared of an 18-year-old boy who just wants to study. I feel that's a little ridiculous. And yeah, like I said, I think Miss Milankovich has been rude, and the way that she's been trying to communicate with me and my family and I, has been in a rude nature. I think it's been totally inappropriate because she sent me a letter and it was filled with like vile language and basically trying to attack the boy and basically telling my family that he was like some sort of delinquent. Like, I guess she was trying to like hint that there, and he's nothing but, you know, a nice boy. I mean, all he wants to do is just study, and when he's, you know, taking a break from his quarters, then he goes and chills at the pool, and I don't see a problem with that. I mean, he hasn't done anything wrong, he hasn't vandalized anything. I mean, he's just a normal kid, he's 18 years old, like I said. And the other issue is, she was complaining, she also has complained, I mean, I'm kind of surprised she didn't bring this up, but she was also complaining about my daughter, who, you know, she doesn't live with us anymore, but she does work as a lifeguard and as a swim coach at the same pool. So, I mean, in her job or in her occupation, it's kind of a benefit, an extra benefit, that she's allowed to use the pool after the hours that, you know, don't pertain to her work. So essentially she can go there whenever she wants, if, you know, the pool isn't closed and she can swim there. So for that, I don't think she needs to pay for those for that amenity. Now, other things, obviously she's not allowed to use because she's not part of my house. I totally agree with that. But with the pool, I mean, she's allowed to do that because she works as a coach. That's basically it.
Okay. So what is your association with the homeowners? Like, how are you involved with them?
Well, I've been a member since like 20 years ago. I mean, this is 20 years ago. I was like, yeah, so I've been here for an extended amount of time, and I basically sometimes like train members of the homeowners association. Maybe I train people who like walk around the neighborhood as well, because I'm currently retired, so like I basically don't work at all. So I put all my time in volunteer work. So I volunteer occasionally for the homeowners association and for the neighborhood. So that's what I do.
Okay.
Okay, so you feel, it seems like you feel really close with the neighborhood, and has there been any issues beforehand, Ms.
No.
Milankovich?
I think Ms. Milankovich is the only one with the problem here.
Okay.
She's the only one that's decided to put, you know, her nose in business that doesn't pertain to her. So.
From what I understand, it seems like one of your like issues is like respect. So with Ms. Milankovich, what does it mean? Like, what is it like? What do you understand as respect?
Respect means don't assume things that you don't know. because she's basically in her letter, she was making wild assumptions that we were just inviting whoever we wanted and we were letting people use the pool for whatever reasons. And
How did you
that's
feel
not
about
the
the
case.
letter?
Well, I felt attacked, and at the same time, I felt like it was kind of a useless attempt to just get me to follow the rules. Like, if anything, if you want someone to comply with something, you're not going to do it in an aggressive manner. And I feel like that's just ineffective, and it's not useful for anyone, right? If we're being hostile, I mean, we're not going to go anywhere. So that was my issue with the letter.
And
Also, I mean, she should be a little bit more informed if she's going to assume something or, well, I'm sorry I have to say that, but yeah. At least read over the rules before you go on to,
Okay, well, that's why we're here. We're gonna try to
Well, yeah,
lay
yeah.
everything out.
I mean,
and
I have no
figure
problem.
out what's
I don't have
the
no problem.
issue.
the only one with the problem is with Milankovic, so
okay.
I'm here to clear it up.
Okay, so how, back to that young man that's living with you, Alan.
Yeah,
How often does he go into the swimming area?
I mean, to be honest, I don't really check.
Mhm.
Since he's part of the household, like, it shouldn't really matter. But I mean, he only does use it, not occasionally, he uses it a lot, frequently, during quarter breaks. So that's like after his classes are over. He usually just goes at the pool and he just relaxes alone. I mean, he doesn't invite any of his friends. So I mean, I think she would have more of a reason to fret over other people joining in the pool.
So you said earlier, you mentioned about the rules, about it is just like one household. So could you please again explain like the rules
Oh, yeah.
with regards to the payment?
So the payment goes like household to household. So each household pays a set membership to use all the amenities in the neighborhood or in the community as well. And so I've been paying the same amount of money since my son and daughter have been there. So literally like the price hasn't even changed at all. So even, let's say Alan was out of the picture, right? I'd still be paying the same amount of money for, you know, me and my wife and I. So, I mean, there's not really a difference there. It just goes from household to household.
And did you say that the student, Alan, is that correct? That's his name?
Yeah,
Is, he's accompanied by you two, or just not at all when he is there?
Well, sometimes we go with him. Sometimes it's me, sometimes it's my wife that, you know, accompanies him. And sometimes, you know, it's just him alone.
Okay, and
He
is
is
there a
very
rule that's that? Like,
Not if he's part of the household.
if he's part of the household, he's allowed to be unaccompanied?
He's allowed
with
to
the
be
pool?
unaccompanied. Because otherwise the rules state that if a person isn't part of the household, isn't a member, then they have to be accompanied by someone of, I think, 12 years of age or in 7th grade. Or else they're not allowed to just be alone. But I mean, since he's going to be here for 2 years, like I feel like, you know, he'll know the rules, he won't misbehave, I know that. He's a good kid. Yeah.
Okay.
So you feel like protecting the...
Well, yeah, I mean, if anyone has a problem with him, they're going to have to go through me first. And I'm not saying that in like an aggressive manner, I'm saying, you know, there are ways to not persuade, but convince people that Alan is a good kid. I mean, like I said, all he does is goes to school. Because I mean, he doesn't speak English that well, right? And he's not a very social, you know, kid. So all he does is just go to school, and then he comes back, he relaxes. He's a very hard worker, he's very studious. And then, you know, if he wants to, he uses the amenities that are available to him, and that's that. I mean,
And you
Not
want
much-
to
not
make
much
sure that he
mediation.
he's
Yeah.
part of the family,
well,
right?
yeah, I don't want him to feel isolated here,
Yeah.
because, I mean, he has no family here. And also, it's only been a month, so I mean, he doesn't have that many friends, he's alone. So I feel like, yeah, I feel like he should be protected and felt at home, right? I mean, if you're new to a place and you're having people attacking you left and right over,
Yeah.
you know, I don't think that's a very welcoming atmosphere for a new person, right?
And you said it's only been a month since...
Yeah, it's only been a month, so, I mean,
Okay.
if he was a guest at our house, and this was, happening for, 2 months, maybe more, then I would see why someone would argue or complain, but he's gonna be part of our family for 2 years, maybe more, so I don't see the issue. I really don't.
Okay. Does the homeowners association know that he goes into the swimming pool area? Because I know that's.
Well, I'm very connected with the homeowners association, so they know I have this 18-year-old Croatian boy, and so I mean they haven't complained at all about him not being able to use the pool. Yeah, I mean as long as I pay the fees, I'm sure that they won't have a problem with it. Also with, like I said, my daughter, like she should also be able to use the pool because, like I said, she's an employee there. So she's allowed to use it.
And how did you feel about Ms. Malkovich's way of communication about the letter?
Like I said before, I thought it was very ineffective. I thought it was very rude. It was out of line. It was hostile. Yeah, I don't know. I don't feel like that's the way to treat your neighbors or to communicate with any other human being for that matter. And I also sent her a letter, saying that, the way she brought up this issue was inappropriate. I said that it made my family angry, it made myself angry as well. And I mean, I didn't attack her, but I just wanted to let her know how I felt. And I felt attacked and I felt uncomfortable as well, so, yeah.
Do you think that, how do you think that Ms. Malkovich handled your letter in response to hers?
No idea, she didn't respond back. She just decided to, I don't know, get all angry with herself and call for mediation, I guess. So,
Have you?
maybe break some dishes and have the house, I don't know.
All right.
Well, yeah, let's not make judgments.
Right, because I couldn't make them about him though, right?
Yeah.
There he goes again, just.
Yeah, exactly. We want to
Give him
make sure we
things.
respect each other.
So have the two of you had any communication prior to this incident?
Yeah, just a few hellos and how are you doing, so that's pretty much it.
So
We're
there's
not
no
very
relationship.
close, as you can probably tell.
Probably won't be.
Yeah.
Okay, so, Ms. Malkovich, if we could go back to you, what are some of the concerns that you're feeling right now?
Well, mainly, you brought up something about this, you brought up respect, and I don't feel respected. That's the concern that I have. He previously stated that if there was a problem, it should be between him and the homeowner association. So does that mean that I don't have a say in what I believe is wrong? Because last time I checked, I'm an equal member of this association. And if problems should just be between him and them, how do my issues get addressed? Because he just stated that any problem needs to be up with him and the homeowners association, the board. But my own problems aren't being addressed. So that's an issue of mine. Another issue, Mr. Hansen, don't put words in my mouth. I never once called the boy delinquent. I don't know him. Never have I called him delinquent. The letter did not say. I have the letter. I can read it right now if that's what you want to do. Because I didn't call him a delinquent. So don't put words in my mouth. And another thing, you also stated that you've been paying the same fees as your children did live in the house. Well, that's incorrect. That's a lie. Because in the Homeowner Association Board, the fees that are paid by household every month, they fluctuate depending on the amount of people that live in the house. You have 2 kids, correct? Yeah, they're gone, they're grown, they don't live in the house anymore. So when they left the house, your fees went down. So now
So
you have,
proof?
okay, but wait, I'm still talking.
Do you have proof?
Yeah.
But I'm still
Yeah.
talking, and
Yeah.
you see what he's doing, right?
Yeah, let's let her finish.
What he does with homeowners too, he just butts in and thinks he can get away with things. So, yeah, so his kids are gone, so his fees went down. And this new kid, he claims he's not a guest or whatever, he's going to be here for 2 years. He did state that, it does say in the bylaws that a guest doesn't need to be accompanied by a 12-year-old or a 7th grader, but if he's not a guest or whatever, then his fees need to go back up because now he has another member in the household that needs to be accounted for in the board and when it comes to the association board. So that's my main issue. He needs to just pay up, shut up, and do what he needs to do. Because if I have to pay things and I have to do things, it's not fair that he gets away with things and what I have to say doesn't get acknowledged. I mean, he just stated that he really didn't care what I had to say and that if there was a problem, it needs to be addressed between him and the board. So I feel that what I have to say has never been heard.
Well, I do notice that, since both of you are here today, I feel as if that you're both ready to communicate and that he is maybe ready to hear your concerns, which is good. You're both taking a step and you're able to address all your concerns. So what does, going back to one of the first things that you said, I noticed you said something about respect and so did Mr. Hansen. So what does respect mean to you? Because both of you seem to feel, disrespected.
To me, respect is just an appreciation of who I am and what I have to say, and also just, I don't want to use the word respect, but respecting how I feel. So if I have something to say, and us as equal members of this community, I feel that what I have to say should be equal to what he has to say, or what anyone has to say should be equal to anyone in the community. And I feel that I'm not being respected because of that. I feel like I'm not taken seriously and that what I have to say is not being listened to.
So equality is an issue for you here,
I-
the situation. It's not.
Yes,
Okay.
most definitely.
So how do you feel about the homeowners association? Because it seems like some of the issues are stemming from them as well, because they're creating some of the inequality issues.
Well, yeah, like I said before, I don't know what exactly is going on there, but a lot of it seems unjust and unfair. There have been things in the past that Mr. Hansen and his family get away with, or as it seems from the outside looking in, they get these special privileges.
Like what?
Yeah.
Okay, let's let her finish. Let's let her finish speaking. If you have like anything that you want to, just write it
I'm
down,
not gonna write
and
it
then
down.
you can
I'm not gonna write
address
it
it.
down. I already have it at the top of my head.
Okay, then let's just hold on for a moment and let's let her. So we both respect everybody.
Yeah. Before I was interrupted, it seems like they get these special privileges and are allowed extra things that other members aren't. So, yeah.
Have you tried contacting the homeowners association?
Yeah, no, I've been in contact with them a lot of times. But I still feel that what I have to say about this issue, I mean, they were the ones who suggested that we meet today in mediation to resolve it. But I just feel like when it comes to his part, I don't know what's going on, but he's saying things, they're saying things, but they want us to meet. But then he's saying that my issues really don't matter and that if there is an issue, the homeowners association will tell him. So.
And have you ever, I know that you mentioned that you've never spoken to the young man, Alan. Have you ever had any communication with the daughter?
No, I haven't tried to speak to her recently, or I for sure haven't had any conversation with Alan or the daughter. The only one I've communicated with is Mr. Hansen within the letter, and the letter I feel was not rude, hostile, or out of line, which were those are his words. I just felt like what I said had to be said in a matter that would be addressed. Because obviously, as you can see, if my letter obviously did something because we're here today. And I feel like without it, it would have just been slid under. And he's saying that it was a failed attempt to like fix the situation, but I feel like it did help. So.
And since the young man has been like around for the past month or so, has that changed your like access to the amenities? Do you still go and go swimming in the pool, or has that changed?
I mean, I still swim. It's just I don't want to be there when he's there. I just
Okay, so how, after hearing about her issues and the safety issues, how do you feel about that
Well, about her safety issues, about
in respect?
being scared of Alan, I think you should get to meet him, to be honest. And then you can judge for yourself. I think you should meet him first, and then, I mean, he's not gonna do anything to you if you go to the pool at the same time that he's going. So, I mean, that should be.
Well, obviously he's a stranger to this month.
Which is why I said that she should meet him first.
So it's reasonable for her to feel
Yes, it's totally reasonable.
uncomfortable with this
Sure.
stranger,
Sure.
her community. So.
Sure. So that's why I think that she should meet him, and then she can decide whether he is either friendly or just weird.
How has your life been affected, Mr. Hansen, with
By
this
what?
whole
By
situation?
her?
Yeah, with the whole
I
situation.
mean, here's the thing. I think the issue isn't. I don't know why she has a problem with me. Maybe because I'm not paying or whatever. I don't see why she should be going against me. She should be going against the homeowners association because supposedly they're letting me do this, right? So I feel like she should be talking with the homeowners association instead of me, because I mean the issues, they're not directly affecting her at all, because it only has to do with me and my family, and I don't feel like this is warranted in any way.
Well, from what I understand with like Ms. Milokovich, I know that what she said earlier, she feels that the homeowners association isn't treating her fairly. So I think that's why both of you are here today too, because you both need
Right.
to discuss the issue.
But I'm not the homeowners association. I don't make up the rules, nor do I punish those who do not follow them. She also isn't part of the homeowners association, and therefore, it doesn't. That's why I said it's not like I don't care what she has to say. I'm just saying, if she wants to, find solutions, I mean, she can't get them because she doesn't have the power. She isn't part of, the board, and she can't change rules.
Well, that's why we're here today, to hopefully, express all the concerns and.
Because what's the issue here? What do you want me to do? You want me to pay extra? Is that what you want? And then that you would be fine with that? I don't know why, if I'm paying more or less, I don't know why that's an issue that really directly affects you in any way. I don't feel that it affects you in any way.
sorry,
Because-
asking you a question.
No, I'm not asking you a question.
Oh,
This is
that's
rhetorical.
a question.
Well, I mean, here's the other one. If you had a person who you wanted to live, or you wanted him or her to live in your own home, and you wanted him or her to feel as home as possible, wouldn't you do the same thing? I mean, or what would you do? Would you?
Now is that a question?
Yeah, that's a question.
Okay, so if I had someone living in my home, yeah, I would want them to feel the same way, but I would still pay my fees
Right.
to make sure that they
I
are
mean,
paid and incorporated into the bylaws and fit into the association so that they can use the amenities that we pay for.
Right, that's fine. But do you even have proof of my payments? Do you have the
I
receipts? Do you
mean,
have
no, I
the
don't
bill?
have proof, but
Then-
I'm saying,
then
wait,
these
you
are-
asked
no,
me a
I'm just
question.
saying. No,
He asked
I
me
asked you a question.
so let me answer. Okay?
Okay, go for it.
So, no, I do not have proof, but
So
you
say
did,
something.
okay, but wait, you did just state right now, or earlier, you did state that you've been paying the same fees
I
since
haven't.
that is not true.
Why not?
Because your kids left, they automatically go down. The
So-
board is going to adjust the price. You have not
Right,
paid the
but
same fees.
you have no idea what kind of agreement I had with the board.
So
Okay,
you're
let's-
saying that regardless of
let's
your
break this
kids
down
being there or
down.
not, you're just going to pay more money just to pay more money?
So
Even though your
clearly
kids
the
haven't been there
rules.
for like 5 years?
So clearly the rules here need to be addressed.
I mean, but what sense, he's saying that, oh, well, you don't know what agreement I have with, even though my kids aren't there and my fees should have went down, you know what, I just said I'll pay more just to pay more.
No,
Like,
I'm not paying more just to pay more. I'm paying exactly the same because I don't have a problem. I feel like it's extra money served like as a donation. That's why I feel like I should pay more or less.
well, first of all, let's.
Yeah, sorry, I'm not
okay,
even
go
done.
on.
I feel like how she's trying to assume, and this is just an assumption, whether I'm paying X amount of money. I think she's just going on a hunch. She doesn't know, exactly, you don't know the type of agreement or the change in payment that I've had for the last 20 years. You don't know when I've started doing whatever it is that I'm doing. So I feel like you're just assuming things, and by assumptions, you're making wrong conclusions, and by conclusions, you're making all of this a big deal.
Okay, but why
Okay, wait, let's calm down for just a moment. But let me just, I have a question, because I noticed that at the beginning of your speech, you did mention that you have been paying the same fees. So is that true? So
Yeah,
it has been
true.
the flat rate since with your
'Cause I mean,
children
I don't-
as well?
I mean,
Because,
money isn't tight for me, my family, and I'm retired already. And I feel that since my 2 children have gone out, I mean, I don't feel the need to pay less. I mean, I could just continue, paying, and I feel like that extra money can, like I said, it can be served as like a donation, so that extra funds can help, pay for costs for, the community, for example, renovations and just maintenance. I think
But
that's
have you,
fine.
So
so
are you
have you donated or done anything like that for the community?
Well, I mean, I haven't done extra donations, but I consider those same payments, that money that should be cut off already, since my children aren't here, I feel like those are donations, and plus all the volunteer work that I do is, you can kind of make that a donation, but I mean, I do it because I care for the neighborhood and the community.
okay,
And in no way, what I'm saying is, if I wasn't paying, the same amount, if I was paying less for like only 2 members of the household, then I could see why there would be a problem. But there isn't one.
okay, so what you're saying is that you were paying extra?
Sort of.
Your
yeah.
household is?
Yeah.
Okay, so could you please, how are you paying extra?
Well, no, it's just, let me just make it clear. So when my kids were home, I was paying for 4 members, right? For the household, right? Well, like I said, it isn't individually, but if you have more than, if you have like 3, if you have children, for example, the costs go up, right? So what I'm doing is, I haven't changed the payments at all. So since I came here from 20 years ago and I had my children, I still, they existed. So I've been paying the same amount for the last 20 years. Does that make sense?
Okay, so from what I understand right now, you are paying basically double than what you're supposed to be paying.
Yeah, basically.
So do you feel that you deserve like any privileges?
No,
or special
I don't feel like I
privileges?
deserve any special privileges. I just feel like, if this, to be honest, I just don't want any issues. I don't want to be attacked by my neighbors. I don't feel like I said, this isn't warranted at all. And I feel like Alan should be left alone because, like I said, he's considered part of the family. And if, money is an issue, then there you go. Like I'm paying for 2 extra people, right? So.
So is there?
Unless you want like a membership card that specifically says that Alan is part of the community, then I mean I can't do anything about that.
Is there a specific contract that states that your children are under like your household? Like is there a way that you can maybe add Alan onto the household?
Like
How does
legally?
that? Yes, or within the community, within the homeowners association. Do they know that your children are gone and that you're
Yeah,
paying
everyone
extra?
knows.
Do they-
Well,
how
not
do you
everyone,
know?
because she didn't know.
Mhm.
But the majority of the people that I know in the neighborhood, they know my kids have been gone for like 5 years. My daughter's 25 and my son is 22. He's in college, so.
Have you given any consideration into adding Alan into the household?
He is part of the household.
So there isn't an agreement that states that those children that your children are under the household? Because, so there isn't one. So it just says that
goes
you
by
and your,
payment.
it just goes by payment, but when I guess I'm a bit confused on the contract for the communities. So every household, how would they know that you had 2 or 4? I'm just,
But
I'm
I guess if I show
confused.
them my receipts and billings, then they would know that I'm paying extra.
Yeah,
Right.
so I'm just saying, like, within each household, there isn't a list of who is under the household, it just
No,
How would they know?
I disagree. I think that there would be a list. I feel that the homeowner association board has a list of exactly everyone that's living in the household.
So I think the problem here is we're not really so sure of the rules. We're not. Is that an issue? Do you guys think that? I mean, it's kind of like he said, she said. We don't have the set rules for the homeowners.
Like I said,
association.
the issue stems more from the homeowners association. If they're not going to be clear with any of us, then that's the main issue. I mean, in monetary terms, I haven't been, cheating or looking for a shortcut. I mean, the billings are there. I can show you. You won't have a problem with it. No one would have a problem with it. My only issue here is it's the issue of respect. And it's pretty much it.
Okay, so the board members were the ones that of the homeowners association were the ones that recommended the mediation. Do you think they would be willing to discuss this with you guys or
Pretty
with
sure,
you
yeah.
two together in a room so we can, hash things out and figure out what exactly are the rules for the place?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think
Feel like
that's
that'd be
possible?
okay.
Ms. Longovich, would you be willing to be in a meeting with board members like this?
Of course, as long as I'm being listened to.
Because I think what's happening is like assuming, everyone's assuming and just not really sure of the rules here.
Well, Ms. Milankovich, how do you feel about the homeowners association? I know that you had, earlier you mentioned you had some animosity towards them, so, because you felt like you weren't being listened to, so how do you feel about the homeowners association?
Mainly, like I said before, I just feel that they don't care to listen to what anyone more so has to say, and just favors what the Hansen family has to say more. And I'm not saying that's because he claims that he gives these extra donations every month because money's not tight, but I just feel that a lot of what has to be said by other members aren't put on an equal standpoint when compared to what the Hansen family has to say about it. So if you ask me how I feel about them, I mean, they're okay. I don't think they're necessarily fair. I think they need to get their act together. Their roles are clear and defined, but I don't appreciate the way they go about things, and we keep bringing this thing of respect, and he feels no respect, so I feel the same way. So.
Yeah, it seems like that you have felt disrespected because the homeowners association hasn't, hasn't done anything, and you feel disrespected because you feel like you're being treated unfairly and ignored. But
If they're not listening to you?
Yeah, because he stated that I'm trying to change the rules. I'm not trying to change the
I never
rules.
said that. I
Yeah,
said
you
you're trying to
did,
change
but-
the rules.
So we need to stop trying to change the rules anyway. I am saying that I just want the rules to be followed, because if we all have to follow them, I think everyone should have to follow them.
okay. How do you feel, and I'm sorry to bring it off a little bit subject, but how do you feel about Mr. Hansen's daughter swimming in the pool? Did you know that she has been working?
Yeah, no, that's my bad. I did not know that she was a lifeguard at the pool, or that she had the summer camp going on at the pool either. I did not know that. And if it is true that she is granted rights, swimming rights, because she is an employee of the pool, then so be it, that's fine. I have no problem with her in the pool. If that is her job, that's what she does, then that's fine. That was my fault.
So being here today actually helped you realize that she is actually an employee and she's allowed to swim in the pool?
It informed me.
It informed you, yes, okay. So that's good, at least we can figure that out, that she is allowed to be in the pool.
Okay, so back to the young man that's living at the home. Is there any other concerns about him that you might have, or any besides him swimming at the pool?
It's just, I don't know. I get a weird vibe from him. I'm not sure how things are, and I don't know what exactly to think. I mean, how well do you know him? Like, who are his family members, and why is he here? I get a weird vibe from him.
And you feel that since it is your home, you feel a right to be safe?
I do. I
Yeah.
don't feel safe. I don't know him. He's from Croatia. Like, why is he here? I don't know. I don't feel safe. I don't trust him being around.
So, do you know, how do you feel about like international students? Do you know the background of that? Because I noticed that, he is an international student. Is that part of the reason that you feel this tension?
Yeah, I mean, there have been other international students living in the community in the past. We've never had a Croatian student before. I don't know, but we never had a Croatian student before, and we've had other international students. I don't have a problem with international students. I just don't know if Alan here is like up to date in how things work in this country, and I'm not sure like if his family, like who his family members are, and we've just never had a Croatian student. So
How do you feel about having a Croatian student? What makes this different than any other previous international students?
I feel less trustworthy of his presence because he's from Croatia. I mean, nothing's wrong with Croatians, but I don't know. I feel like, well, my family was persecuted in World War II by Ustasi, and it's like the Croatian revolutionary movement, and
In World War II?
yeah, they persecuted, I'm Serbian, and they persecuted us and Jews, and I don't know if his family or what he's learned in the past, or how his upbringing, or how if he was taught the proper things to be in this country. I don't.
Mr. Hansen, how do you feel about that? Or thinking this?
Well, I mean, I don't agree with a lot of the things she said. Like I said, she should meet Alan first, and then she can judge him. If you'd like, you can come for like a lunch or a dinner, and you can meet him. And I think you'd feel a lot safer.
Well, how do you,
Oh, sorry.
go ahead.
Also about the World War II thing, Croatia wasn't a country until probably like late 80s, early 90s, because back then you guys
Yeah,
were
part of
free.
Yugoslavia, I know.
Yeah.
I don't need a history lesson. Thank
Well, then you
you.
can't. Okay.
That's not what
Well-
I said. I said it was part of the Croatian revolutionary movement.
Okay.
Well, Ms. Milankovic might have some animosity towards him due to culture,
Because he's Croatian?
background. Well, no, probably because of
Well,
culture,
you should
background,
just-
and traditions like your
Well, you
family.
should just said he doesn't trust him because he's from Croatia, and she is.
Yeah, that's not what I specifically said.
Well, I mean, you did state that
I mean,
before.
you're over here giving history lessons about my family history, but it's okay.
I'm just saying, you should meet him first.
Okay,
And
thanks.
then you can just decide whether you like him or not.
Okay, that seems, it seems fair. I mean, how do you feel? Because I know he is only 18. So how do you feel about his age, like in the fact that he might not even know his family history?
Yeah, I agree. I think that meeting him could possibly help my opinion of him. But I mean, like you said, it is just some animosity there. And I mean, growing up and just knowing
It's a
how
family
things
culture.
work. Right,
It's-
exactly. I agree. And I possibly meeting him would do that. I mean, he is 18. I'm not sure if he has prior knowledge or if he doesn't. I just personally have not felt safe around him. I felt like he wasn't properly addressed in the community, and that from my knowledge, he just this random boy just swimming around the pool.
Yeah.
And I mean, he wasn't like addressed properly within all the community members. Like, oh well, we have this guys.
You just
and
saw
we were
somebody
here.
all of a
Yeah,
sudden
so
and were alarmed.
I felt
Okay. That's
unsafe.
reasonable, yeah.
So me not trusting him, it could be a personal issue, but I mean, again, I did not know. I saw him, didn't know what was going on. Like I said, he wasn't properly introduced or addressed in the community. So
And you have every right to have your personal feelings towards anybody you want, so
Right.
that's definitely not, no one's, blaming you for that. Mr. Hansen, why don't we go through your needs? What do you feel needs to happen right now in this situation? I mean, we covered, so your daughter, she's allowed to swim, that's out. What other things is bothering you or what's?
I feel like I should at least have an apology for the letter that she sent. And, I mean, I'm willing to put this all behind if we're able to have constructive and effective communication in the future. Maybe we can, have conversations face to face instead of, writing some, things that we might regret later. And that goes for both ways, right? Because, maybe, one day I feel like, I can't, I cross that line and I write something that I shouldn't write or whatever. I feel like if we're going to finally put an end to this, I feel like we should have communication together, and we should also go to the homeowners association to get Alan officially part of the household, because I feel like that should be, I feel like that should be part of,
The letter was obviously really hurtful for you.
Well, yeah.
So,
It doesn't matter if she felt that it wasn't, it matters what I felt, right? Because the letter was towards me and my family, and I feel like it attacked my family, so I feel like, apology is owed. And, the issue about my daughter, that's clear, like, thank God she realized that, it's okay, like, it's fine. And just that and Alan, that's it.
And do you have any regrets in the letter that you had sent to her?
No,
Is there
not really,
anything?
because, I didn't attack her, I just said that what I felt in her letter was just rude, hostile. It was unnecessary. That's pretty much it.
Malkovich, were you offended by anything in the letter?
not really. I didn't really pay close attention to it.
And did you feel that the letter that you sent Mr. Hansen was maybe disrespectful at all, or how do you feel like your letter was?
Like I said previously, I don't feel that my letter was rude. I felt like I addressed things in a manner in which they need to be addressed, and I said things in a manner that need to be said. And I didn't attack him. I was not personally coming for you and or your family. I did not pinpoint you and or your family. The letter was sent to you and your family, but I didn't say anything that was necessarily rude or negative. I barely even mentioned the boy in the letter. I didn't. Yeah, no. So, on that part, if you take it that way, I'm sorry that you did.
Was
but
your
it
intention
wasn't
to?
intended for
Yeah,
that. No,
okay.
it was not intended for that. It just, what was said needed to be said.
So Ms. Malkovich's intention was not to disrespect you, correct? Is that what you were
Correct, I
trying
don't know,
to-
you should ask her.
You weren't trying to hurt his feelings or
No, I
make him
wasn't trying to
upset and his
disrespect him.
family?
No.
And what are some of your needs in this situation? How are you feeling?
Like my main issues. I agree. We do need to have a conversation with the Homeowners Association Board because there's some miscommunication with them, and within their guidelines and their rules and regulations, there's some controversy going on there. He claims that money's not tight and he's paying these additional fees. So, if he's paying them, that means that the fees for Alan are covered for. If he is, in fact, paying the fees that he's been paying since his children live in the house, then okay, that's fine, but I still need it to be properly addressed that Alan is not a guest, and that he is living in the community, and that he is part of this household, and that his fees are covered. Because like I said, Alan was not properly addressed or introduced in the community. He was just walking around present without anyone knowing who he was. So,
So what does it mean for him to be properly addressed?
I just feel like he needs to be addressed within the homeowners association board. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's not just me. I'm pretty sure there's others who are curious and are wondering who this boy, who Alan is, and why he's always in the pool using the amenities, like, 'cause no one knows who he is. I mean, he was just a random kid always using the amenities, and I mean, we pay for these amenities, so I think everyone should know and should be aware of his presence in the community.
Okay. And what are there any other concerns that you had? Do you feel like you've addressed most of them, all of them?
Yeah, I feel that I have. As long as I agree, communication is vital and necessary. In order to have effective communication, we should be able to talk with one another, and possibly maybe one day in the future we can hold conversations that are face to face. As long as, like you said, respect is being given and received on both sides, and it goes both ways. And if things are equal and there aren't special privileges going on, and we can all respect each other as equals of this community and follow the rules, then.
Okay. And I noticed that you both had mentioned that it would be wise for you to maybe meet the young man. Would you consider meeting him and giving a proper introduction and saying hello to one
Feel
another?
like you feel safer? and more
I think
comfortable?
that would be necessary. I think if I did meet Alan for myself and was actually able to have a conversation with him,
Mhm.
yeah, I would feel safer, and my trust could be strengthened with that
Okay.
when it comes to him.
So, Mr. Hansen, do you think that can be arranged?
Yeah,
You said it yourself, yeah, so you're okay
of
with
course.
that?
Yeah, okay.
I'm sure Alan would be comfortable with that as well.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
so he doesn't feel like he's interrupting anybody or,
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay, wonderful. So, do we think have we covered everything? How do you feel about this situation
Yeah, I feel like we should clear up,
with the homeowners?
yeah, HOA.
Okay.
And, yeah, that's pretty
And
much
we
it.
all can agree that respect is necessary.
Yeah,
Mhm.
well, we don't want something like this happening again.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right, because it does take a lot of time. And
Mhm.
we obviously don't want it to escalate to other, means.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
So I think a meeting with the homeowners association is basically the main
Yeah,
Mhm.
main solution to this problem, just so you guys can get, both of you can get a better understanding of the rules and they can get a better understanding of the rules. Okay.
And you're willing to put the young man onto the
yeah, I
household?
don't have a
Yeah.
problem with that.
Okay, and then you both can be introduced to the young man. That should help some of your main concerns, and you understand that his daughter is a part of the works for the community and the pool center. So that's great. That's good. And we will contact the homeowners association and see if we can get a mediation, or just have a discussion for at least for you three. And
Sounds
see.
good?
Okay. Perfect.
So do you think we've covered everything?
Yeah, I feel like you
Thanks.
did.
Okay, so if you can please sign the written agreement.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right, Ms. Barankovich, Mr. Hansen, thank you for your time, and I feel like you both made a lot of work today, and it was good to be able to communicate and address your concerns and, put this issue at hand for, a while, so thank you for your time, and thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay. I think this one went really good. I think Sabrina and I had a lot of questions, just like you guys did last time. And we were able to do it kind of like we did in class, or at least we tried our hardest to focus on you and then focus on him and just keep asking questions that way.
I think that's the hardest part, trying to
Mhm.
keep each person
Yeah.
to talk.
Yeah, because I noticed that, like, when you talk with someone too much, it just, the other
Yeah.
person feels like neglected, and you're just
Yeah.
like, well, you don't wanna, so you try to transfer over, but,
Yeah.
so you try to talk to the other person.
It's hard being not biased, or seeming like you're
Mhm.
not biased
Right.
because of that.
Yeah.
If you're focusing on one person, I felt, yeah, I was kind of like itchy to say,
Yeah.
ask me more questions.
Yeah.
Because you're only asking the
Yeah.
small unconventional questions.
Yeah.
But then I think we learned in class we
Right,
don't want
yeah.
to like flip-flop too much.
Yeah,
To get
and
all
then-
confusing and messed up.
Yeah,
So
I
think that
remember-
was, like,
I remember in class, I was thinking the same thing, like, that person's totally getting favored. And then at the
Yeah.
end of the class, we didn't even get to switch to a person,
yeah,
so I was
yeah.
like,
So it's like they
okay.
never got to speak.
Yeah, so I think it went really well because we did switch at an amount of time
Good
that
timing.
was like, at least, for mediation that we're doing in setting.
I think it's been a major improvement
Yeah,
since the
definitely.
beginning,
Since the
and
first one.
we've learned so much, especially on the mediating aspect. For everyone in this group, I feel that we've all improved dramatically.
I agree, and all the questions that we've asked are just so much more better, like so much
Yeah.
into detail, and just addressing different concerns.
I feel like we elaborate more when we
Mhm.
discuss this, so I think it's way better.
I personally felt that you guys asked really good open-ended questions, because I realized when I was mediating our mediation session, I felt like some of the questions I asked, I thought, ooh, like I just
Yeah.
asked a closing
It's
question.
hard.
It's hard, but I had to
Like
think
just a yes or no
Yeah.
answer, but I felt like a lot of the questions you asked, they weren't just like yes,
Yeah.
no, like you were able to explain and
Mhm.
go into them.
But
Yeah.
even though some of or everyone ended up asking those types of questions, I still feel that those particular questions allowed for more detail in the answer. So
Clarity.
more clarity. So yeah, it could be a yes or no answer, but I feel like the party who was being asked decided to also put in more
Yeah.
detail because it made sense.
It's not, totally.
Yeah, because you can't just say yes, no, yes,
Yeah.
and like, I feel like the parties would, if they were just to say yes or no, that'd be kind of limiting to their side.
Yeah,
Right.
and they want,
You would get their point addressed,
Yeah.
their point
Mhm.
across.
yeah.
So I feel like, even though we did ask those questions and you're not particularly supposed to, I feel like they sort of still allowed for more like in-depth, I guess, explanation.
Because people don't want to just leave it at, no, yeah.
Yeah,
Like, they want to
because
be able
you're
to
just
talk.
like, you're not there to
Yeah,
mediate,
and
you're
the
just there.
mediators couldn't get anywhere with that.
Mhm.
Right, yeah?
Yeah, I think we did great
We're
for our
done.
final.
Good job.
Yay.
Group 5.
We're like
You're
totally
fine.
sick and we're like dying.
Yeah, these two are sick. Poor troopers.
Like at the end of the mediation, I was like, yeah, no, I had a huge headache. So I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, I agree with everything. Just let me go back home.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're done.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank
thank you.
Thanks.